Right now, we're going to move on to Shauna Carter and Jonathan Brooks. It is now, of course, Shauna Carter Brooks. And Shauna Carter was married this past week. She tied her 1-month-old baby to the back of her wedding dress train. And the baby did fine. There was no harm done to the baby. The photo did hit the internet. I believe is an innocent gesture on the part of her friends who were at the wedding, and went viral. People looked at this and said, "What?" So we're going to come back in a few moments. We're going to talk about this it's an absurd story. It's one of those real strange ones in the news. For those of you who may not have access to the internet or miss this somehow or other, we're going to run a little outline of what happened in the news with this week, and then we're going to play a song by Billy Idol, Cradle of Love, here on WEMF Radio. We'll be back in just a few moments with discussion on this topic.
Bride attaches newborn baby to train of her wedding dress. Shauna Carter and Jonathan Brooks of Tennessee decided to take the plunge last month and get married. The couple, who live in Jackson, just outside of Nashville, also have a 1-month-old baby daughter named Aubrey. And what better way to include your baby in the ceremony than by fastening her to the train of your wedding dress as you walk down the aisle. Surprisingly, Shauna and Jonathan have been taking heat online for being crappy parents. Shauna has defended her odd decision by saying that the baby was awake and well secured, and that she was covered by Christ. Well, as long as Jesus says it's cool.
WEMF Radio, we are smoking in the girls' room. We do what we want, when we want, as long as Jesus is on our side. I figured I'd use that quote. That's not actually about our show. It is actually the quote that Shauna Carter, mother of the 1-month-old baby tied to the train of her wedding gown this week, had to say on Facebook in response to having her dress designed, actually, to have her baby attached to the back of her wedding gown train. During her wedding, she walked down the aisle with the baby attached to the train. I'm trying to keep a straight face. I'm trying to keep this discussion serious, but I don't think it's going to work.
When I saw this article, I'm like, we have to talk about this.
Take it away.
I've had people say to me, they should take that child away from her. They should throw these people in jail. I'm like, who cares?
Child Protective Services actually did investigate this.
I was wondering about that.
Yes, they did.
And they should.
You really think so?
Well, having a full disclosure, lived in Nashville for 7 years.
Oh, okay.
This did not surprise me one iota, not for 1 second. The whole Jesus thing, I mean, it's exactly, I could have written the article. That's how much I know that it would happen exactly like it did. They're the Bible Belt, and there's a reason for that, and she clearly thinks that was okay and that Jesus was watching over her. Maybe he is, who knows? But not uncommon. If you asked me what state did this come from, I would have said Tennessee. And Tennessee, you know I love you. You did right by me for 7 years, but this is not unusual down there.
But do you think that this woman should be investigated by the Child Protective Services?
I think in Tennessee they wouldn't even have, had it not gone viral, they wouldn't care. Whatever. No.
Yeah, I mean, people are getting really, really upset about this. Gabrielle, who wasn't here today, actually posted when I put this up on Facebook. She says, they should take this woman's child away immediately.
Yeah. That's a lot of people feel that way. A lot of people feel that way. I think that's a little over the top. I don't think that I think that it was poor judgment. I don't think that either one of the parents, their intent was not to harm the baby. The baby was securely attached. I'm not defending their bad taste. I'm just saying that I think that there are certainly more serious cases of child neglect and abuse that need to be addressed by Children's Protective Services.
It is a little concerning that the baby was only 4 weeks old. That's very young. Forget the rest of it.
Well, she had a really fluffy gown. If you haven't seen the picture, it was a really fluffy gown, and the baby was really swaddled in there. But if she had fallen, it would have been all over.
Oh.
Yeah, then you would have had a different story.
I love the looks on the faces of the people that are in the church, too. They're looking down like, what the?
How do you think of that? Who thinks of that? What do you sit around at night and say, how are we going to bring the baby down the aisle with us? Oh, let's put it on my train. It's such a weird conversation to even have. It's so bizarre.
She clearly intended thought this through.
Yeah. The gown was designed, I think, so that they could swaddle the baby in the train. train.
It's a Vera Wang.
It's a Vera Wang?
Yeah.
Excuse me, these people are... Yeah, that's
She's very
expensive.
serious about her gown and how
her
that
baby.
how that baby was incorporated into the design of her gown. Kathy, were you going to say something over there? She looks shocked and disgusted.
Kathy's horrified.
I'm looking at the picture. I'm horrified. I'm wondering, you're dragging a baby behind you while you're walking down the aisle. When I had babies, they gacked on everything.
Yeah.
And Vera Wang dresses are expensive. I mean...
This baby doesn't look happy either.
No.
It looks like, what are you doing to me?
I know. And how can she turn around and take care of it if there was an emergency situation? I mean, she'd have to pull her dress off. Or get someone else to get it. It's strange to me. I just don't get it.
Well, it is,
Tennessee.
all kidding aside, there is a danger. There's clearly a danger. There's always a danger with everything. But if she had fallen or if somebody had not seen the baby and had stepped on her train, that's a very young baby to have attached to the train of your dress when you're the train coming behind you. You're not even seeing where the baby is while you're walking down the aisle.
Yeah, you have to wonder how long before the actual ceremony was she kicking around in the dress with dragging the baby
It's
on the train.
Bizarre. Well, she only had 4 weeks because it was in her belly before that. So who knows?
Did she practice?
Yeah, did the baby attend the rehearsal?
I was just going to ask. I mean, it's just, and that it is dangerous if she's walking around her wedding beforehand. Anybody could have fallen on the baby or
Not
stepped
seen
on the
the
baby
baby.
or
Not
not seen the baby. So it is kind of scary when you think about it.
When this baby goes to school.
Oh, God.
Are you the baby that was dragged on a wedding dress? This poor girl's going to get harassed nonstop.
That's true.
Not in Tennessee.
Her name's out there now. Her name is all over the press. That little baby
little
girl.
baby's name, that's all.
Baby Aubrey Brooks is the baby's name. At 4 weeks old, she is now
A celebrity.
Yes,
Who's
she
a
is.
celebrity?
She'll be on Oprah. Well, no, Oprah's not on anymore. Right?
No.
Well,
Should be on OWN.
I'm not sure that Mama is going to take to the airwaves. I mean, unless
shouldn't. She's smart.
maybe she was smart, and maybe this was a way to make money. What a great way to make money to do the celebrity circuit on the talk shows.
Or design dresses.
Yeah,
for
starting
your
a new
baby.
trend.
Right.
Yeah.
And there was actually a designer on YouTube who came up and stated that this whole situation, Shauna Carter, her design with the baby was, Shauna Carter is now her muse for designing wedding dresses and other outfits.
Containing children.
That contain children.
puppies
You sew your baby to your
kitties.
dress.
I just don't think this is going to take off as a style.
Not here.
There's a whole diaper issue. Any of you who've had babies that young know
Leaking.
they can blow out of a diaper in no time at all.
Gotta love Facebook. Facebook
I know.
breeds all of this kind of bizarre controversy.
You have to wonder if this ever would have been a big story if we didn't have social media.
Right.
I mean, I think that things
Not the
like this
first
have
time.
probably happened for a long time. And,
Yes.
It may have made the National Enquirer.
oh, that's right.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, the world
We
news.
wouldn't believe it. We'd all think, oh no, nobody would do that.
She's very thrilled that the bride, is very thrilled that she was like the top blog spot for some blogger. So I think she's very happy with her internet success.
I think that social media is going to attract folks that want that attention, that want to even possibly make some extra money by, this is a whole new venue of attention getting.
15 minutes of fame.
And exactly, that 15 minutes of fame where people can actually do these things that go viral, these crazy, wacky things that they know the general public is going to react to. And I think that the public is actually more reactive now with the social media.
Well, when does it cross the line, though? When does that? Does this cross the line, or is it going to be taken a step further because some other bride wants to outdo this bride and take it that step further so that the baby is really in danger?
The copycat.
Yes.
I don't know.
Twins in the
I'm surprised we're not getting calls on this. 617-500-7100 is the number here. It's the direct line, and surely you've got to have an opinion. I want somebody to call in and say, she was totally justified to do that, and I think it's a great idea. Where else are you going to put your baby? Now, people have suggested she could have carried the baby instead of a bouquet. And that would have been wonderful, to carry your baby in your arms to the altar. Other folks have suggested she could have incorporated a white bridal stroller into the wedding.
Right. There's lots of options.
Well, and what would Massachusetts do? If this had happened in Massachusetts, would DCF have reacted differently?
Of course.
They would have taken the kid away.
Of course. After what's just been happening with everything, of course they would be involved. Yeah. No doubt.
No matter what. Well, it's weird, yes, and it's weird. It's just weird. But it's not safe. I don't see anything safe about this. I don't think the baby's in a structure that's hard and protective. And I think anytime you have a little baby and it's moving anywhere, whether it's a baby carrier or snuggly or in your arms, it should be in something safe around it to protect it. And your mother's wedding dress train is not safe.
Behind her, no less. The baby's behind her, so she can't.
It's being carried, it's being
up.
moved, and it's not in a safe thing. That's just my opinion. That's all.
I wonder if this is going to become a syndrome where when baby Aubrey grows up, she's going to inherit mom's wedding dress and attach her baby. That means she'd have to have the baby before she got married, of course. But I wonder if, this is what's going to happen to that wedding dress. Will it be auctioned off for lots of money somewhere on the internet?
She's smart. She'll take advantage of it, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Not the kid, the mother, auction off the wedding dress. Yeah.
No child left behind, folks.
Exactly.
Literally.
Just dragged behind.
Dragged behind, right.
We're at WEMF Radio. We're smoking in the girls' room, and we are discussing the baby on the train. The baby on the train. Baby on the train.
I think that we'd be surprised at how different what we think is safe and what social services thinks is safe. I think you'd be horrified. I mean, they're having worked with kids in the school system. This is kind of off topic, but they allow a lot of things that people would never allow. Their whole goal is to keep the family united, and they let a lot go by. So
you think they may be more forgiving of this in Massachusetts?
Maybe not in Massachusetts. I don't know. I don't know, but I think we would definitely investigate due to all the things that have happened recently in Massachusetts. I'm sure they'd give it right back because the baby wasn't in harm's way, and I mean, in my opinion,
it wasn't harmed.
It wasn't harmed. Yeah, but they let a lot go. So
So what about them saying that Jesus was watching over the baby? If you're a parent and you go and DCS, is it DCF?
DCF.
DCF, they come to you and say, we think you're not taking good care of your child and doing this, and you say, but my religious belief is that this child is safe because my God is watching over it. Does that carry any weight?
Yeah. It definitely does. It does with medicine. Look at the Amish don't inoculate their children. I mean, you have a lot of rights, and especially in the South, religion is huge down there, and it trumps a lot of things. So it doesn't surprise me at all that the whole Jesus thing came out. It's very common, and the way she said it, the way she truly believes it, and I'm sure she does. It's not. We don't even talk about it like that in the North. So
you have competing interests in cases like that. You have the freedom of religion versus the safety issues and the welfare of children. Sometimes you have to weigh in on those issues, and sometimes religion does get a nod to things that the general populace thinks are not acceptable. Sometimes it doesn't. It depends on how it's weighed, and that usually ends up in the court if it's a big enough issue.
But she broke no laws. There's nothing set, and there's no precedent. Maybe now there will be. What she did was perfectly legal. It's unprecedented. So maybe they'll create more laws based on this. You can't. It's illegal to drag your baby down the aisle and on a wedding gown
to wear your baby.
Well, it's kind of horrifying, but if you think about it, right, if you had a newborn and you put it on the floor on a blanket and you moved the blanket to another room, It's the same exact thing. I mean, no one's going to come in and take your baby away because you moved your baby on a blanket.
People throw their kids up in the air. Like,
yes,
I've always
which they can actually sustain brain injury from that.
but
Very
people do it
young
all the time.
babies.
Yeah. So no, I just don't think it would be a big to do.
So I guess nobody's going to weigh in with us on this tonight. I think that it's just old news. And
it's all right. Cindy's raring to go on the next topic.
Yeah, I know she is.
She's loaded for bear.
I'm figuring, we're just gonna mosey right along here into our next topic.